to Audubon's Veterans Day Program. Please stand as we say the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Veterans Day is a holiday we celebrate to show thanks for our veterans. Veterans are men and women who served in the armed forces in our country. This means that they are part of the U.S. military. Veterans includes those who were in the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, or Marines. It takes bravery and honor to serve in the U.S. military. Many people in our military need to travel far from their families for long periods of time. They miss holidays, birthdays, and special family events. The members of our military also risk their lives as their work is very dangerous. They do it because they know that their job is important to keeping our country safe. Veterans Day is celebrated on November 11th. The reason it is celebrated on the 11th is because fighting in World War I ended on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. On Veterans Day, many people choose to honor veterans in different ways. Schools, post offices, banks, and many other businesses close and take a day off to honor veterans. Some people write letters to thank veterans for their service. Today we say thanks to all of you for your service.
We would like to tell you more about each branch. Please stand when we say your branch of the military. Army, please stand. The Army is the oldest and largest branch of the military. It was established in 1775. The Army is the main ground force of the military. The Army's job is to patrol and fight on land using land troops, tanks, and artillery. Thank you, Army.
Navy, please stand.
The Navy was also established in 1775. The Navy fights in the oceans and the sea throughout the world and is considered to be the defender of the seas. The U.S. Navy is significantly larger than any other Navy in the world. Thank you, Navy.
Air Force, please stand. The Air Force is the most recently established branch of the military and was officially established as a separate branch in 1947. It is the part of the military that fights using aircraft, including fighter planes and bombers. The Air Force is also responsible for military satellites in space. Thank you, Air Force. Marines, please stand. The Marine Corps was established as a separate branch of the military in 1798. They are trained to fight by sea and land. The Marines are often some of the first soldiers on the ground to enter combat. Thank you, Marines. Coast Guard, please stand. The Coast Guard was originally established in 1790. This branch of the military protects America's coast and waterways and deploys with the Navy during wars. During times of peace, they deal with boat safety, sea rescues, and illegal immigration by sea. Thank you, Coast Guard.
And now everyone, all the children have been practicing this song, so all the children, you stand up, and we're going to sing "You're a Grand Old Flag," okay?
Veterans Day by Cheryl Dyson. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold.
Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride.
We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. Though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
As I introduce our guest speaker today, I would like to share a quote from President Ronald Reagan. Some people live an entire lifetime and wonder if they had ever made a difference in the world. A veteran doesn't have that problem. Please welcome U.S. Army Rank Specialist E4 Ruby Payne and his wife Hannah. They are parents of Audubon students, Tyler, Ryan, and Sophia Payne.
Good morning, students and parents and our veterans. It's an honor to be here today. My husband was supposed to originally be the one speaking, but he has laryngitis, so he has my voice. So I've been the one asked to speak today. As the kids have said before, Veterans Day is a day to pay tribute to all American veterans who have served honorably in wartime and times of peace. As of September 2017, there are roughly 20 million veterans in the United States. It's a lot of veterans. 6.7 million of those veterans are Vietnam veterans. If you are a Vietnam veteran, would you please stand? Our Vietnam veterans were not welcomed home correctly. They were not welcomed home with honor. They were treated very badly. They have paved the way for our future veterans and for the rest of these ladies and gentlemen that are sitting here today. And for that, they deserve an extra thank you and a welcome home. So a little bit about my husband, Specialist Payne. He served in the military for 5 years, from 2004 to 2009. He served from 2006 to 2007 in Iraq and was injured in a Humvee rollover. That is kind of one of the reasons that we have Stuart, our amazing service dog, which I know you guys have seen a lot around the school lately. So I'd like to kind of explain to you guys a little bit about what Stuart does. So about 40% of our veterans come home with an injury of some sort. Sometimes it is a missing limb, sometimes it is emotional, sometimes it is an injury of the brain called a traumatic brain injury. My husband serves and has several of those injuries. So first off, what is a service dog? A service dog is a dog that is specifically trained to meet an injury and perform a task that you cannot perform yourself. For my husband, Stuart can do what is called bracing. So if he gets down on the floor to play with the kids or to play Legos or falls, Stuart has been taught to brace and help him back up off the floor. Another of Stuart's amazing abilities is that he blocks for what is called post-traumatic stress disorder, which most of our veterans come home with. And that basically means that he gets kind of scared when he's in a crowd and he doesn't like people to be super close to him. So with Stuart, he has been taught to actually block people from getting too close, because when they get too close, it makes him uncomfortable. So if I can get one child to volunteer, let's go with one of our older students. How about you? Would you like to come up here? Yes, you. So what I want to show you guys is that, here, Mike. All right, so most people, when they are going to greet a service dog, you see a dog in the store and you're like, a dog, oh my goodness, I want to pet it. We ask that you don't do that for a few simple reasons. You can go ahead and try and get his attention. Don't touch him, just try to get his attention. You can do whatever you want to get his attention, but do not touch him. He ignores her, for the most part. He acknowledges that she's there, and he is standing between her and my husband for a very good reason. He is maintaining the bubble for my husband's own comfort. If he is told by my husband that he can go greet, he can pet him. He will go and he will love on that person, and then he will immediately come back to where he is supposed to be and beg for attention. Just a little bit. You can go sit down. Thank you very much. So one of the big reasons that we ask that you do not pet a service dog when it is out in public is because it is working, essentially. They are doing a job that they were trained to do. When you distract the dog, whether it's, you speak at the dog or you bark at the dog or, whatever you're trying to do, you're distracting them from their job. And in some cases, my husband's included, that can lead to very, very bad consequences. So it is asked, when you see a service dog, it's okay to admire from a distance, but do it without making a big deal about it. You should try to not distract a service dog while they are working. What not to do when you see a service dog? Obviously don't yell, don't offer it food. Although a well-trained service dog will not accept food from anyone. They do not eat off of restaurant floors. They do not eat out of children's hands. They do not eat without permission from their handler. If you do want to touch a service dog or you would like to try and interact with that service dog, ask the handler, the person that has the dog. Most of the time they will say yes. A lot of times, though, they'll say no as well, and respect that and have a good attitude about it. So there's a lot of different things that a service dog can do, and they vary greatly from what our military and working dogs do. For a service dog, they can provide seizure alert. They can actually smell the chemical change in our bodies when our body is going to have a seizure, and they alert to it in their own specific way. They can alert for our blood sugar. So if you are a diabetic and your blood sugar drops, they can alert to that as well. They are, like I said, PTSD dogs. They can actually sense the anxiety and the frustration and anger in our bodies, and they react to it and respond and alert to that to help the veteran calm down. They're used for mobility, and they are used for people that are deaf or are blind. The dogs that are trained for a soldier veteran that is deaf or blind, they are typically trained from puppyhood. Stuart is trained, he is a rescue dog from It Takes a Village in Owensboro. And there are a lot of local organizations that I encourage you guys, if you feel like a dog would benefit you. There are a lot of organizations within the tri-state area that will actually help you find a dog and train that dog to help meet your needs. It's an emotional support, which is an animal that stays at home with you, or a service dog that could benefit you to where you could go out in public and enjoy the life that you would like to have with your children or grandchildren. Are there any questions about service dogs? Let's start Little Girl in Purple. How do they know when they're in the right place? Okay, so that's an excellent question, actually. Stuart is wearing a vest, and by law, Stuart does not have to wear a vest. A service dog does not, by law, have to wear any type of marking or vest to show that they are a service dog. But, as these great men and women will tell you, when they put their uniform on, they're all business. So Stuart knows when it's time to put his vest on that he is going to work, and then it is time to work. And so that's how he knows when we're out in public, it's his job to work. So when we go home and the vest comes off, he's crazy, wiggly, love on me. Another question. Yes. All right. What about you? Absolutely. Can you learn too much in school? Can you be in school so much that your brain kind of just is like, I'm done? Absolutely. You can overtrain a dog. However, Stuart trains on a daily basis. But we break that up into different increments. So he works for a little while, he plays for a little while, and so on. But yes, you can't overtrain a dog. And as he said, he does like to sleep a lot. Yes. Yes. We have had Stuart for almost 3 years. It took 9 months to train him, to have him fully certified as a service dog, and we've had him ever since. So about 3 years. Yes. How do you train a service dog? A lot of patience. Not every dog is created to be a service dog, just like these men and women will tell you, not every person is meant to be in the military. It takes a lot of discipline, and they must pass a lot of testing before they are considered a service dog. You just use a lot of patience, a lot of time, and just remember that in the end it's going to be worth it. I promise you, at times he became very, very frustrated that it would never happen, but it did in time. Yes. How long did the training take? About 9 months. Yes. As in if they come up really close to the dog? If they get close to him? Okay, he's not going to do anything mean. He's not going to bite you or anything. He's just going to step between you, like he did with the little girl that just came over here. He'll step between whoever is there. So if you step up close to him, he's going to actually walk between you, and he might even bump you to kind of push you away a little bit. Yes. How long do they train a day? That varies actually, but that's a very good question. It depends on the dog. Stuart trains about an hour a day, but it's broken up into different time frames, so not all at once. Yes? When the dog gets hurt, he does not go in public. That is an excellent question. If something were to happen, say Stuart hurt his leg or got cut or stepped on, he would stay home until his injuries were healed. It is never okay to take an injured service dog out into public. If the injury was to the point that he could no longer work, then we do what is called retiring them. So around 8 to 12 years, typically a service dog is retired unless an injury occurs before that. Yes? The leash, is that what you're asking? Okay, so a very well-trained service dog should not need your hands on it. You should be able to have control of that dog without a leash present. So according to law, though, you have to have your dog leashed. So with most veterans, they will wear a leash that either attaches at their hip or that goes around their chest so that they can remain hands-free and have both hands free for whatever they need to do.
One more.
Yes.
One more.
All right. Yes.
A service dog bite you?
No, a true service dog will not bite you. As a true service dog, you could do just about anything to him and he would not bite or growl at you. All right, so that's the last question that we can take. It has been an honor to be here. If you have any questions later on or if you ever see us in the hallway, we welcome questions, and we just ask that you do not pet him while he's working. Thank you guys so much, and thank you all for your service, and it's been an honor.
We appreciate y'all coming so much this morning, but we want to remember and recognize and honor those that have gone on, that have served our country. And Mr. Brian Schrock is going to come and play taps for us. And right after taps, we'll just have a moment of silence. So everyone, if you please stand up, please, in honor of those that have passed on and given their lives for our country. Thank you. May be seated.
As a part of our tribute, third graders wrote letters to the veterans who would be with us today. You will all receive letters as you leave this morning. However, we would like to share a few of the letters aloud.
Dear veteran, thank you for being brave. Dear veteran, thank you for being brave and serving our country. People like you have served our country all through the generations and deserve recognition. Without people like you, we wouldn't have such an awesome country. You fought for rights to save others and our country. I'm not a fan of fighting, but you fought for the right reasons. And whoever you may be, I am honored to have you read this letter. I wrote this as a symbol of peace, hope, and new beginnings. You don't have to read this, but I have faith that somebody would. I wish you happy Veterans Day, and so does my mom, who was once in the Navy.
Dear veteran, thank you for being brave and serving our country. Thank you for fighting for our country and risking your life for us. I love that you fought for our country, and when things get tough, you never give up. Thank you for helping who were injured. Thank you for all that you have done for our country.
Now we're going to have our poem for the veterans.
To honor the veterans, author unknown, with bravery and strength they serve, with dignity and pride they stand, with courage and hope they fight. The life they live is dangerous, treacherous, rough, and hard going. But when the fog clears, they are the ones who still stand.
We know that from the very beginning that our country was founded by our countrymen that believe that God will bless America. And so that Constitution and those things that they wrote was using God's laws. And I think it's no matter what political belief that you are, that we need to get back that God is ruling our country. And we need to use this song as a prayer. And that's what it is. God bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair. Our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home. Everybody stand up now. Sing it with all your heart. God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside